Greetings, comrades. My name is Gigantals, and as you can see, I'm currently at war with light. I can never get the lighting in my room right. Okay, I know. It's basically impossible for me. I've tried everything. Okay, I tried with the curtains open and have natural sunlight, and then the wall behind me either glows or gets very dark. I tried by closing the curtains, and I turn on the light in my room. It looks like I've got sunbeams in my face. Okay, I've tried to sort this out. It's not working now. Okay, I've tried. I don't know. If you have any suggestions on improving the lighting room, please let me know, because it's just hard. It's just hard to make a proper video when every time you look down, the screen goes dark, and every time you look up, it's like brightening. And like, I'm some sort of my face is glowing. Like, okay, anyway. Other than just problems when it comes to recording things, it turns out that there's another cult out there. So it's another late morning for me. I suppose I was very busy last night. Anyway, so there's another cult out there. Fortunately, don't seem as large as the East Lightning cult, which I'll get around to. This new cult that that I found or heard about, it's called the Maria Divine Mercy cult, or just Maria Divine Mercy they call themselves. And it's basically around the teachings of this woman called Maria Divine Mercy, or she calls herself that. And she usually gives and I was reading a bit of maybe some outdated sites, so this information might be a bit outdated. Basically, she believes herself to be this sort of seer, and she is meant to release prophecies and stuff. She released several of them. Like at the time of writing the article, I think it was a couple of years ago, she released like 650 overall, 650 messages. And she's basically just one of those types of seers. Dress red. There sees around. Like it turns out I'm not sure she's around anymore, because maybe there was someone removed the website or something. But one of the biggest mistakes she kept making was she tried to use time frames for everything. For instance, she would say stuff along the lines of we are in the Great Tribulation. Okay, so next 3.5 years, starting from 2012, then the Great Tribulation. And when 3.5 years was over, Jesus didn't come, which made people a bit annoyed. But she kept using these very strange time frames for her prophecies and stuff, which kept passing and nothing was being fulfilled. And she also made very odd claims as well. When it comes to dealing with overly traditional Catholics or rad trads, something I have to constantly remind them is, and I have nothing against them, but some of them see Pope Benedict XVI as the true Pope, okay, and they say Pope Francis is the anti-pope or something, but they don't. They seem to think that Pope Benedict XVI was forced out of office when he wasn't. Okay, he resigned peacefully, and she seems to support the idea that he was indeed forced out, and people are like, what do you mean? He resigned peacefully. Even he admitted he resigned peacefully. And it's just very strange, because, well, then again, I guess a cult that's anti-intellectual really just tries to twist the facts. Speaking of which, I have seen other like, not cults, but people trying to form cults. Yesterday I came across this woman who was pretending to be Mary Magdalene. There was one traditional Catholic I came across yesterday also. Basically, he was very anti-Pope Francis and claimed that the Pope Benedict XVI was the true Pope. And when I said no, he resigned peacefully. And I gave him the article and the quote in which Pope Benedict XVI said, "If anyone who says that my resignation was invalid, then that's absurd, because the only thing you're required for a valid resignation is resigning from the heart." And that's exactly what I did. And he said, "Well, that could be forced and forged, and you've been made to say that." And I said, "Isn't it convenient that the only thing that would prove you right, you reject because it could be forced?" Like, it's very irrational in what this guy was saying. I mean, I don't hate him for it. Whenever I come across these cultists, I don't hate them for it. I can be angry. I can choose to be firm in my words, like saying, "Are you serious?" A rational-minded person would look at the evidence and actually come up with something against it instead of just outright dismissing it because it disagrees with you. But I don't hate them for it. So you can wish out they have a whole bunch of cults. And one of the Catholic groups I used to moderate before I quit because all the admins and moderators pretty much abandoned me to look after the entire group by myself with almost 100,000 members. There's a person who was claiming to be from the New Jerusalem in Kenya. Was it Kenya? No, Nigeria. Sorry, Nigeria. And they would give out these prophetic messages. I remember because I let them into the group initially because they said they were Catholic, and they kept getting all these messages. And every time they put off a message, I said no, and I removed their message. And I just removed them from the group straight out and blocked them because anyone who comes forward claiming to be a prophet, but isn't in line with Rome, you shouldn't trust them. Okay, if they're not willing to work with Rome, you shouldn't trust them. That's the case of Mary of Divine Mercy. All the previous prophets and seers have been open about their prophecies. They've revealed their identities and they've accepted criticism. But Maria of Divine Mercy, she refused to. She was always hidden. Oh yeah. Do you remember I told you in my previous video that there's such thing as cursed rosaries? And then I also hinted in that video that apparently there was something called cursed miraculous medals. Even though I'll cover that at some point, I will. But I also found out that thanks to Mary of Divine Mercy, there's also apparently cursed scapulars. Although, okay, maybe cursed may be a little bit harsher word, but not strong. But they're definitely, it's not valid. There's some sort of seal that you need to put on. Like it's a very funny scapular. There's also a prayer that you would do with you like. It's like you promise to seal yourself or something. And people posting the pictures around on Facebook, and they're like, "Look, this is part of a cult. Do not do this prayer." So I looked at it, and it definitely seems suspicious. Like it didn't seem right. That just could be my experience with cult, really speaking. Okay, anyway, as for the progress concerning the Easter Lightning cult, I'm actually making quite a lot of progress now. There are moderators and stuff out there which are now and admins and stuff which are now taking they're now aware of the situation and taking it seriously. They're putting pictures out there of the Islamic cult sites and saying be careful of this site. A lot of the admins have responded to my pleas for help and responses now, which is good. And they've actually scheduled one of the moderators later on today to basically spend a couple of hours doing a deep dive or deep search, in which basically I'll take links I have from all the Islamic cult groups, links, pages, and sites. I'll put them into the search function in the group, okay? And then I will delete. So then I will report every single post and every single post and member who shares that sort of stuff. And I said, look, if you get like 1,000 messages from report content, that's me. So yeah, I mean, I've already done that previously with other groups in general. I mean, that's how I usually do it with my group. The problem is that there's quite a lot of links. I mean, I don't have it currently open, but if I were to say how many I've found so far, I think out of all the groups, all the pages and groups and links stuff on Facebook, and then all the links to the websites, I think I'd have around 78 links and stuff, which is quite an impressive number, considering that the initial post that warned me about the Eastern Lightning cult only had like 27. To be fair though, a lot of these are just Eastern Lightning cult, but in other languages. Member-wise, I have 801. I was very erratic at the beginning, but I try to get at least 100 a day. And before you say, don't you have exams? I do have exams. Thing is, every day I set aside some time for me to pray, to do all my prayers and rosaries and stuff. And it's during that time I usually do passive activity. So I can make a whole video about establishing a prayer life, because prayer life is very important. But basically, during this prayer, during this time when I do pray, I usually do stuff like sort out my emails, take all the screenshots I've taken throughout the week, delete the ones I don't need, crop the ones that I do. And lately I've been using this time to look for sign comp members, which is pretty efficient, as you can see. I mean, again, I got 801 members. Oh, also, I have indeed started using this now. I've started writing out names and stuff. I mean, I've only finished to fill in one double-sided page so far, but that's because when it comes to what I do, it's a lot easier if I just copy and paste the name, write the names on like a Word document or something, and then I copy and paste that document around, send it to all the admins and moderators to get awareness for this. Then if I just straight out write it in my Death Note, and then I later have to type it up and everything, especially since sometimes my writing is terrible. There's like but there's a couple of hundred here. There's like 300 names or so already in 4 columns. Okay, so I went better than Light Yagami and the other guy who would say delete when he was like writing or whatever. I'm doing better because he only had 3 columns. Point is, there's a lot of progress being made, I guess, on all fronts, which I'm glad for. I like making progress. So learning about another cult out there, dealing with other cults. Eastern Lightning cult, substantial amount of members and groups and stuff recorded now. Bringing awareness to it, helping clear out the groups for it. Exam-wise, I'm getting through everything, which I'm glad for. I'll be finishing another module today, hopefully, maybe in the next 48 hours, which should be good, I hope. Yeah, hopefully my late nights will stop soon, because obviously late nights aren't necessarily good, especially when I wake up so late. Although to be fair, I didn't wake up late, I actually woke up on time, but then I fell back asleep. And you just guys hate it when you do something, you wait at an alarm, and you wake up, and then you turn off your alarm, you're like, oh, it's cold out there, and you fall asleep, like, next thing you know, you're like, I was up for like 2 hours. Yeah. Hopefully these exams will be over soon. But yeah, so hopefully things will be finished soon, and I'll continue filling out my Death Note. As far as I know, it doesn't work, okay? Also, I know it doesn't work because I've yet to see a Shinigami turn up ever since I had my hands on this. Yeah. Anyway, so progress be made, everyone. Hope you guys are all having a good week, and I'm just gonna get on with my chores when I finish my coffee and do my work. So, good shit.